Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. To see how I went from this to that, just stay tuned. So I start off by using my tape to measure out the breadth, or let me say the width of the closure. So I measured it and it was about 1 inch. Then I go ahead and take out my Swiss lace. Then I measure out 1 inch on the lace. Well, be sure to give an allowance. Then I went ahead again and measured the length. The length was about 3.5. So I went back to my Swiss lace. I measured out 1.5 inch instead of the 1 inch that we measured for the wide. The half inches is acting as an allowance. Then I'll still go ahead and measure out 4 inches instead of the 3.5 that we measured out for the length. So I'm just going to cut it out like this. Now I just went ahead and pinned the lace net to a mannequin head. So I'll start ventilating. So I decided that I'm going to be taking the air needed for ventilation from the wig itself. So what I do is that I use a comb to brush the air downwards to take out the shorter hair. So I just cut out only the long hair. So try when you are doing this, try not to take from one spot. Just try to take randomly, not from one spot.
Told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
I'm using the ventilating needle that picks 3 to 4 air at a time. So now I'm just going to use a needle and thread to pick out the center pattern for my closure. So now I'm going to start ventilating. So I'll be counting a total of 20 lines, 10 at the left and 10 at the right. So I already counted the original closure, the egg that came with it. So I already counted the space. It was 20 lines. But what I'm going to be doing is that I'll ventilate one line and then I'll leave another line and then I'll ventilate on the next line. So that's what you see me do. So in total I'm going to have 5 airs to the left and 5 airs to the right. After I finished ventilating, I went back and I used the tape to check the length again to make sure I ventilated to the exact point that I'm supposed to get to. Remember that earlier I said I was going to be taking the air from the way, but I later decided to start cutting out the original air that I was using the closure before to ventilate because I didn't want the wig to become scanty. I went off camera and completed the whole thing, and this is the end result. So now I'll be using this needle to sew the torn part together. This is a very special kind of needle, not like your regular needle. I'll include the name in the description box. So this method is going to be very good for those of you that don't know how to ventilate. So you can use maybe a transparent thread to sew the torn part together. But for me, I don't have a transparent thread, so I'm going to be picking strands of yarn, wool, or attachment, white color attachment. So I'm just going to use it to sew the air through. Why I like using the yarn wool, the white color or the silver color, is that I can just apply makeup on it and to just blend, or you can still use the attachment white color. It's not going to be that visible, but you can just apply makeup on it to cover up everything. If you want a really strong hold, just like the one we have in this case, I would advise you to use three or two strands of braiding hair, the white color. But for me, I'm doing this for a client. Using the thread will not be good, will not be really good, as I want it to last very long and I don't want my clients to complain. That's why I decided to go for the ventilating method. I noticed that if the torn lace and hair is left in place, I'll not be able to sew the new one well. So I went ahead and just cut off the lace that is bad already. So my mom helped me to use the machine to stitch the new closure that I ventilated to the original one. You can do this you can do this process with your hands, but I didn't want to use my hands to sew it because, just like I said before, I'm doing it for a client and I want it to be really really neat. I just went ahead and used the scissors to cut out the excess lace. The needle didn't get to one part of the closure, but I'll just go back and resew it. Then I'll straighten the wig and that's all. I straightened the hair and now I'm back. See how the hair looks. This whole hair is as good as new. The closure looks nice and you wouldn't even know that anything happened to it in the first place. This is the end of this video, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share. Thank you.